Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of September. And what I want to let you know is this is the month that we're in the eclipse season, because we have a solar eclipse as well as a lunar eclipse this month. And as an astrologer, I always say eclipses are one of the most powerful tools that we have for prediction. So before I get going and tell you all about what this month is going to bring us, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter, because in my free newsletter you get all of these predictions written out and delivered into your email address. So go to galacticcenter.org, sign up for my free newsletter. While you're there, notice my Patreon. If you want to be part of a spiritual community, meet with me every week, talk to me live, then become part of my Patreon. You will see it there in the galacticcenter.org. And don't forget, the next thing is you've got to know about my galactic planner. We have updated it and included so many new and valuable tools within it. You will want this as a guidance every day to see what your personal chart is indicating daily. In the Galactic Planner, it takes your chart, your transits, your dashas, and tells you exactly what to expect every day as it is downloaded into your personal calendar. Check it out, galacticplanner.com. I promise you, you will love it. And last but not least, if you want to study with me, become my student, join my university. It's not too late for semester 1. So go to universityofvedicastrology.com. So with that, now I think I need to get going and tell you what to expect this month. Because each month there's always something major going on. But I will tell you, things are going to calm down. But all of these past months have been revelations. I kept saying something huge is going to happen in July. It did. Maybe it wasn't a total bomb of blowing up physically, but it is a bomb that just exploded. And what is it all about? Let me explain a few things that we have going on right now. So eclipses are the darkening of the light. And as the light is darkened, things come out of the dark that we didn't know about. So this is what this eclipse energy is all about. Eclipses always do this. But after the big bombs that have been happening in June, July, and August, I believe the biggest, most extreme thing imaginable has been revealed. Now, if you're watching mainstream media, you probably don't know exactly everything that's happening. But let me fill you in, because out of this darkness, things we didn't know about are now being revealed. Furthermore, do not forget that the most major aspect that's been going on throughout June, July, August, and really all the way through next March, where Saturn and Neptune are together. Now, they've been together in July, the first few weeks of July, when both Saturn and Neptune turned retrograde. They started to bring out the things from before. Remember, that's what retrograde planets do. They bring out things from the past, too. And Saturn and Neptune, basically, they're together right now, as well as They're going back and forth with each other. Basically, I'm going to say all the way through to next March. But right now, they're really tight. And they came together in June and July. What does this mean? Well, for one thing, Saturn, Neptune together mean many, many things. But one thing was the floods that have been going on. Another thing is oil situations with oil and gas. But let me get to the very deepest part. Saturn is reality and Neptune is illusion. And when they come together, what they reveal is that Saturn reveals the illusion of many cults. Neptune rules cults. And if I could say the deepest, darkest cult that's been going on for many, many years is now being exposed. And this eclipse is helping tremendously. And let me say this eclipse, we have a solar eclipse on the 21st, but really it's going to be the lunar eclipse that is really intense on the 7th of September, because this lunar eclipse is powerful in the respect that it is so close. In other words, Rahu and Ketu are so close to the sun and the moon. What is a lunar eclipse? It's when we have a full moon tied up with Rahu and Ketu. And the nodal axes, Rahu and Ketu, are so tight to the moon and the sun. This means out of the darkness and the nighttime, things come out, because let me say the nighttime, because that's when we see the lunar eclipse. That's when we see the shadows cast on the moon. And this is a very intense lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses deal with the emotions, the emotional bodies of the public, of the people. This is dark and this is deeply disturbing. But then by the 21st, we have the solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse is when we have the new moon, and it's within a certain range with the nodal axes, Rahu and Ketu. Now it's interesting because this one is a partial solar eclipse. So it's not as intense as the total, which definitely is a good thing, because we have had enough intensity, let me tell you. But let me just say this. This one is out of sign. And what I mean by that, where the new moon sits, it's in a different sign than Rahu and Ketu. Because Rahu and Ketu, Ketu is in Leo and Rahu is in Aquarius. But the eclipse happens in Virgo. But they are still within the range that they create an eclipse. But it's partial. So it's not as foreboding and horrible, but it still is bringing out the darkness of something that has been hidden for such a long time. I want to say forever, because I'm going back many, many, many years with our governments around the world. But this Neptune-Saturn bringing out the cults that have been prevalent in global affairs for many, many years. Now is the bomb that it's coming out. This is the bomb. It's really being revealed now. Of course, many people can't comprehend what is actually happening because it is so dark. But it is the truth. The astrology is telling me that this is the truth. Now, here's something that's very interesting about this eclipse. The eclipse, which happens on the 21st, this is going to be at 4 degrees of Virgo. Now, guess what is at 4 degrees of Pisces at this time? Saturn. And here is what I know Saturn is all about: karma, Saturn is karma. Therefore, what's happening is the karmic repercussions of all of this dark, and I want to just say the word evil that's been going on. There is going to be a price to be paid. No one gets away karmically. Karma is the law of cause and effect. And what is put out there is met with equal force in return. So here's what I'm saying. This eclipse, this solar eclipse at 4 degrees of Virgo will bring the truth out and the karma. Because here's another thing that I think is definitely reminiscent of all of us. We don't like to be lied to. We want the truth. But oh my God, looking at the astrology and the revelations that I'm seeing from the planets are what control the masses of what's going on, the emotional feel of what's going on in the planet. That's what astrology is. And let me just say, with this eclipse opposing Saturn, finally there will be payback. Now let me just say that Neptune, as I said, Neptune is illusions, but let me give you a further description. It deals with deception, scandals, and secrets. So this eclipse energy being affected by not only Saturn, but Neptune tells me finally the truth is coming out. And you've got to be aware that it's deeper, goes way beyond what we think. So the fact that they both turned retrograde, Saturn, Neptune, in July means this is it. The cults, the secrets are coming out. And let me just say that these cults, that these powers and cults have controlled politics, kings. This is global. And it's also not only leaders. They've controlled leaders, but Hollywood and the music industry. All of this is being controlled by a bigger entity that's way above the richest people in the world per se, as well as politicians, as well as actors, all the powerful people. There is a power above them. What am I talking about? I'm going to go ahead and say it. It is the Illuminati. It is the people who have been controlling the world forever, just about. But this is what is coming out now. Now, most people won't believe it, but you know what? The facts are out now. Either you can believe the facts or you don't. But again, the mainstream media is controlled by these forces. These in control, that's what I mean by forces. So no matter what, believe the facts, believe what's happening, listen to what you know. Now here is another thing. This stuff is so deep and so dark and dirty. I'm probably not going to be talking about this for much longer, because to be honest with you, it's really making me sick. It's disgusting, but here is what I want you to know. Because it's coming out, this means the truth heals. Now that we know what's at the culprit of all that we have been experiencing, the media trying to get us to fight, to separate, the separation, this hatred, all of this that's been inflicting onto us, there is going to be a healing, because now we see the truth. Now we know what we're working with. So there is nothing better than having to go through, as I've been saying, this purging. We had to go through this to get to the other side, to realize what has been at fault with all that's been going on, with all of the catastrophic events that we have been going through in our lifetime. This is at the bottom. Do you realize how important this is, that we're finally getting to the culprit, the cause, that now we know, because now we can work on it and heal it. This is what it's about. Now this month, the Kala Sarpa has been broken. The Kala Sarpa yoga was actually broken as soon as the end of July occurred, around the 28th of July, once Mars went into Virgo. Because the Kala Sarpa yoga is where all the planets are on one side of the nodal axes, Rahu and Ketu. The outer planets do not play into this yoga. But when all the planets are on one side of the nodal axes, it means that a certain destiny must be fulfilled, because they're entrapped in the karmic axes of the nodes. And what this means is we're coming out of it. This is so much better. We are coming out of it. Everything in the heavens is pointing to this realization, and karmic payback is happening. So everything that's been going on with, let me just say, the Epstein files, the Diddy, all of these big major crises and scandals, they're all based at the same root cause. And now that we know what we're dealing with, there will be a healing. And that's why I keep saying, look forward. It's about to happen. But karmic payback is, people are not going to get away with this. So let me just say, Saturn also, it does deal with karma, but it's heavy, it's responsible, and it also deals with depression. So there's a lot of people that are not able to accept this, with good reason, because it is so depressing. But we have to know the truth. The truth, once you know the truth, the healing begins. And that's what's happening. So let me just go forward with some other things that I know are being revealed. And this is, pay attention around the time of the lunar eclipse. Let me say why. This is going to excite everyone, but it's actually a diversion to try to get us away from looking at what is really, really going on. Okay? And the economy and the stock market are going to be booming. Why? Because Jupiter and Rahu are actually in a perfect trine around the time of this full moon lunar eclipse. And both of these I'm not going to say planets, because Rahu's not a planet, but when Rahu and Jupiter are in a trinal aspect, it represents expansion, gains, and therefore we're going to see a major uptick in the economy and the stock market. This is amazing. I thought that there would be a big down, and then it rises, but this big bomb that's hitting could have these repercussions of extremes of highs and lows. But we are talking about a high. And even I noticed, for those of you that know a little astrology, Vedic astrology, is that Jupiter is in the nakshatra. Jupiter is in the nakshatra ruled by Jupiter, and so is Rahu. So that also represents major highs that are going on at this time. So we're talking about Jupiter being in Purnavasu and Rahu being in Purva Bhadrapada, both ruled by Jupiter. This Jupiterian influence is going to make the stock market soar. Okay. And another profound astrological event that's occurring is that Pluto, this entire month, is trine Uranus. And actually they stay in this trinal aspect for some time. It started in August and September. And if you think about Pluto, Pluto deals with major transformations. And when these transformations occur with Pluto, they set in and they change the world dramatically. And Uranus is sudden, unexpected events. So the fact that they're in this trinal aspect, which trines are known to be positive, it means an unexpected event that transforms and changes the world forever. This is what's happening. And I think, with so much going on in the stock market, we're detained somewhat from looking at where the media, the higher ups, the elites are trying to get the masses to look another way while their stuff is surfacing. But on September 6th, Uranus is going to station and turn retrograde. When a planet stations, in other words, it turns from direct to retrograde, it actually stands still for a while. And that makes that planet enormously powerful, beyond belief. And so what does that mean? That actually means that everything that Uranus is about is going to become prevalent in the world. Just like when Neptune stationed in July, dealt with flooding. It was in Pisces. And that's what Neptune rules, water. But Uranus rules sudden, unexpected events. And let me say this. With its stationing, what is an unexpected event? An earthquake. Earthquakes, earth changes will be happening around this time, and they've been happening, but this is the earth really shaking from everything that's going on with humanity too. It's not just literal, it's figuratively that the world is being shaken to its core with all that has been transpiring, and now it's being revealed. This is really incredible times, beyond any time to be on planet Earth. What is going on? I'm sure 20, 50 years from now, we'll look back and go, what were we thinking? How did we not see it all? But Neptune with Saturn will try to hide it all. Remember, Neptune means you can't see what's going on. But it is now happening. And let me say, with all of the yods, there was a yod in June. There was a huge yod in August. This is the finger of God. That's what a yod is called. And it means a certain destiny of things that are evolving and must happen. And it is deep, dark secrets that go way back. It's not just about politics. It's about humanity. And what I want you to know now, coming up with all these revelations coming out, there will be many more suicides. And when I say suicide, I really mean murders, as well as assassinations. People don't get away with revealing the truth when the higher ups are around, if they can stop them and put them in their place. But the world is changing, and we are going to know what has been going on. So all these catastrophic events are going to reveal the truth. Now, the last part of September, I must tell you about what's happening then. And this is September 24th. This is not a good day. Okay, I don't know if there's going to be a major event, but I want you to also realize that this isn't a good day for you to be starting new projects or doing anything. Just lay low, all right? Because on this day, Mars will be squaring Pluto, and it will be in a quincunx to Uranus. So in other words, that trinal aspect between Uranus and Pluto is triggered by Mars. And Mars is a major trigger for events. So this could deal with someone being attacked, a strike, a world leader dealing with extreme dangerous repercussions from all that I've been discussing. This is a dangerous day, let me just put it that way. And when I give you these days, it doesn't have to be only that day. It can be a week around this. So I'm going to say the end of the month of September. Be careful. But here is what I want to leave you with that is so vitally important for you to understand. There has been sort of like a dark spell. Remember that the world, our world is a world of duality. There's always going to be the light and the dark. People think that they can have utopia here, but we came here to learn lessons. And because it deals with duality, the dark, the light, the sun, the moon, the day, the night, this deals with that the light has not been so prevalent, but will be. Here's the thing to always remember. The light always extinguishes the dark. And we've been under a dark spell pretty much, I think, lately, with all that's been going on with politics and control and breaking people's lives apart, putting fear in everyone. They've manipulated the politics. They've manipulated the media to instill anger and hatred in people, separating us all. But because the truth is coming out now, no longer will this be what's taking over. The light is going to take over. And I'm looking at the month of October. I keep saying this. When Jupiter does touch foot into Cancer, from October 18th to December 5th, we will have a glimpse into the future of where we are going without all this darkness, without all this heaviness, without all this deception and secrets and everything that's been going on. We're going to start to see the light. Now, I will say it's not going to last past December. We're going to go back into a lot of new discoveries, another upheaval. But I will say this, by the time Jupiter goes into Cancer and remains there, which will be June of 2026, I do believe we're going to enter into a time of a golden age. I've said that way before Trump ever said that. Way before. I think he copied me. But this is planetary energy, not politics. This is what I'm talking about. And Jupiter in Cancer rules spirituality. It deals with abundance, wealth, bringing a new awareness into our world that is healing, that we all need. After what we have been through, this is absolutely nuts what the world and humanity has been through. And I'm telling you, it all had to happen because everything happens for a divine reason, because now we can see the polarity of the darkness for what it is and now be in the light. And this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful world. Yes, it's been in a very, very difficult place, but when you fight back the dark forces, they dig in deeper. And they're not going to go away peacefully. It is a very strong force. But the light always wins. And that's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I know this is a beautiful world with beautiful people. And that needs to be exposed and empowered more than the darkness that prevailed before. So with that, I think I'll close. If you would like more information on me, you can always go to my website. Go to galacticcenter.com. And remember, if you want to know how you can personally be guided by the stars, go to my Galactic Planner website and sign up. You will love the astrology and how it can guide you in such a positive, uplifting way. Go to the Galactic Planner, galacticcenter.com. Thank you.